Hello, hello. It is Tuesday at noon-ish.
Ish.
And
I
we
love
are
how you say that.
coming, we are coming at you with a product spotlight today. This is probably my favorite oil. It's so hard to say what's your favorite because also like frankincense is one of my faves, but Copaiba, that's what we're talking about today. Copaiba is my jam. Like,
Tell us why.
oh, so many. I could talk to you all day and all night. But I gotta tell you guys, my body literally like craves copaiba. I kind of
Mhm.
like do like this when it when it's around. I love it, love it, love it. So that's what we're gonna spotlight today. So when I talk about copaiba, Dr. Ashley, I like to tell the story that I remember them telling. So I started in 2018, I think. And I think Copaiba came out in 2019, right before the world changed as we knew it.
Oh, it went crazy.
Right before we went cray cray. So I remember going to a doTERRA event and they introduced Copaiba in 2019 and they said that they had been getting a lot of requests for CBD. People were like, give us a CBD oil, right? This was like back in the day. And so doTERRA was like, listen, we're not going to give you CBD. At that time, I don't know what it's like today, but at that time, it had not been studied well enough for, doTERRA is all about the science, right? It
Hmm.
hadn't been studied
Hmm.
well enough to meet doTERRA standards. And it's not an essential oil. I don't know if you guys knew that. CBD is not an essential oil. And they
That's a
just,
great point
yeah, it's not an
because
essential
people think every oil is an essential
oil.
oil sometimes. Yeah.
And they just felt like in order to produce a really high quality CBD oil or supplement, it was going to be very expensive in order, like out of the regular like price range that they try to keep things in. And so what they did, they're like, okay, but noted, we hear you. We hear what you're looking for. And so they went out into the Amazon and they found us Copaiba. And what they were looking for was an essential oil that had a similar chemical profile as CBD that was going to give us some of the same benefits of CBD without any of those negative, harmful side effects that CBD can bring. The hallucinants, is it THC?
Hmm.
THC, yeah, with no traces of that whatsoever, right? So you're not going to fail a drug test by taking Copaiba. You don't even have to worry about that. And so that's the beauty of Copaiba. So some say it's like CBD, but better. Do
Hmm.
you want to talk just from a medical perspective about the differences between CBD and Copaiba?
Yeah, so I think you hit on a couple. The fact that it is 100% legal. I ain't gotta worry about that part. Okay.
Sorry.
And then also that it is 100% drug. There's nothing that you have to worry about in terms of like
Say that one more
drug
time. It cut
test.
out a little bit.
Oh, 100% drug free.
Oh.
So like the THC piece, you're not having to worry about that and worrying about it affecting a drug test.
Mhm.
So we know it's legal. It's way less expensive than CBD, and also it's pure. So we've talked multiple times about the doTERRA difference and the commitment to purity. With a lot of CBD companies, you just aren't sure, right? You don't get to learn about the sourcing and any testing that's done to ensure purity of product. And you're typically paying like $90 to $100 for a little bitty bottle, when you can get a 15 ml bottle of Copa Eva for what, 35 bucks?
It's about 35 bucks.
And it comes in a soft gel, so you don't have to worry about tasting it if you're like me. Y'all just saw me taking mine when we got started, my Copaiba and my Serenity and my Adaptive, because it's that kind of Tuesday. Um, Hello. So the thing that I think you really want to know, in terms of like how are they the same? Because I always say it's like a cousin of CBD. So it comes from a different plant completely. So sometimes people are, curious, does this come from the same like cannabis plant? No. Copaiba is a resin oil that Danny so eloquently told you came from the Amazon rainforest. That's why our Brazilian friends let us know it's not called Copaiba. It's supposed to be Copaiba.
I
That's what
love
they said. I'm just telling y'all. But it's an incredible antioxidant. It is a nervous system relaxant. It is incredible. It has beta caryophyllene in it, which is really, really amazing to help relax the body. Which also makes it's a powerful anti-inflammatory. It's a great antioxidant. Supports heart, immune, digestive systems, nervous system. I keep saying nervous system because, you know, that's what we need.
Definitely. It is
Um,
incredibly calming to the nervous system.
it is. It is. It's how I live life as well.
Mhm.
Part of
It's
how I live life, you know.
well, it's and it's in the by the way, yesterday I was like, "I'm having a bad day." This is what I said to my husband. I'm like, "I don't know, I'm having a bad day." And I'm like assessing my day and I'm like, "By golly,
You didn't take it,
I didn't take my adaptive capsule and it's
which has Copaiba in
Copaiba in it." So yeah, don't worry. I got it on it last night because like I can't go another day like this.
it.
But
Yeah, we don't have time for that.
ain't nobody got
Last
time.
thing I wanted to say about they play on the same receptors.
Mm,
They work in the endocannabinoid system in the body, which people typically like to take CBD because it makes them relaxed and calm. It helps with pain, all of the things. Copaiba is a pure, natural, less expensive, non-drug way of giving you all the same benefits.
so it is considered a cannabinoid.
No,
It's
it just
not
works on the same system.
okay.
Hmm.
There's some misinformation out there. Okay,
Maybe, I mean, Copaiba is a cannabinoid, I would assume is like comes from that same plant, the cannabis plant. Then
I don't
Copaiba
know.
does not come from that plant.
Yeah,
That's my understanding, at least.
it's a completely different tree altogether.
Hmm.
But it
Hmm.
works on, say it again, the receptor. It works on the what?
The endocannabinoid system.
Okay. I don't even know.
So it basically like
I don't even know.
it's a system in your body that helps you calm down. Know that.
Okay, well, I need
So
it.
it's basically the place on your cells that CBD binds in order to have its effects
Mm,
that people love CBD for. Copaiba also works on those same receptor sites, so that's why it gives you the same effects and benefits.
yeah, I love it. I
Mhm.
love it. I'm telling you, like some people like, oh, I don't like the way it smells, I don't like the way it tastes. And I'm like, I don't care. It works so, so, so well.
Yeah,
Uh,
if you don't like how it smells or tastes, get a soft gel.
get a soft
That's
gel.
yeah, I don't love the smell, but it's incredible. Um, well, I was gonna ask how you use it. I'm gonna tell how we use it, but mhm,
Yeah, well, before we talk about that, I want to say, like, I
mhm.
have in my handy dandy essential
Handy
workbook,
dandy.
which I love.
Hmm.
I love this. Sometimes it'll have like fun facts at the bottom of the page.
Hmm.
And for Copaiba, it says that Copaiba is extracted from from mature trees between 30 and 50 years in age, found in the Amazon rainforest, and considered one of the most anti-inflammatory substances on the earth.
Planet.
Drop mic. Can y'all pin the name in driving? Can you pin the
No,
name?
she's driving.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Copaiba? That's what she.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just type it in the chat.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. So it's highly anti-inflammatory, which is going to be so good. We need that. Um, and again, as you mentioned, just from the book, top properties: anti-inflammatory, anti-arthritic, analgesic,
Hmm.
antifungal, antibacterial, antioxidant, anti-carcinoma,
Hmm.
mhm, car
Hmm.
carminative, which does that have to do with gas? I believe it does.
I
Flatulence.
don't know.
I believe I looked it up a while ago. I think it helps with flatulence, and it does. And it's also antimicrobial. It really does help settle the tummy.
Hmm.
So those are the top properties of
Can I
it.
read some more out of here too on the
Wait,
properties?
is
I
that
mean,
Dr. Scott's
evidence.
book?
Yes.
I need it.
Hmm.
Okay.
Also in here, in addition to those, I don't know if you said antibacterial and antifungal,
Mhm.
expectorant, um, wound healing, relieves anxiety, aids digestion, stimulates the pancreas and liver function, stress management, stimulating, aids concentration and focus, promotes introspection, and encourages emotional healing.
Mm. Promotes introspection.
Mm. Introspection
Mm,
and encourages emotional healing.
let's do it. Let's heal people.
Baby, it is the oil of unveiling.
Ooh, okay.
This is
That was
kind
deep.
of
I like
deep.
that. I like that.
Hmm.
So, okay, so how do we use it? Why, how? You look very introspective at the moment. How
Honey, I
and
was just
why
reading this
do
thing, that's
you,
all.
what'd you say?
I was just reading this, that's all.
I need it. All right, so tell the people, Dr. Ashley Anderson, how and why do you use Copaiba?
I use it for all the why is for all the things we just said, basically. How I typically take a soft gel in the morning and night, mostly for the anti-anxiety effects and also for just arthritis. I
Mm,
think I have a lot of old basketball, just aches and pains from that, and then childbirth and all the things. So I realized that when I added Copaiba into my regimen, I think once I was on Lifelong Vitality, I could tell my inflammation was decreasing,
mm,
but the Copaiba added a whole extra level to that. So I feel so much better when I take that from a joint perspective, mobility, pain type of thing, joint, lower back, all of that. So that's why I take it to calm me, keep my body calm, calm the nervous system, calm the brain. And then at nighttime, just like we talked about, I think frankincense last time, the beauty of these gifts of the earth and how they work in your body based upon what you need at the time.
mhm,
So what I find is when I take it in the morning, it just helps me to be more serene. When I take it at night, it helps me get some good sleep and
mm,
kind of get my brain to calm down so that I can go to sleep. So that's how I use it for myself. The kids essentially use it for the same way. Especially, Ace just really started running. I guess it's been about 6, 8 months ago, but I have him take a drop in the morning just for inflammation, calming, not trying to send them to school on some foolishness. And then at night, in addition to it healing the body and helping with inflammation from all their activities and sports and stuff, it also helps to relax them to get off to bed. So we do the Copaiba. I do 2 drops in their mouths at night, and we do the Serenity stick on their feet. And see ya. Uh, um, yeah, I take
Sean is
if you were asking how many do I take a night, I normally just take one at night. I take one in the morning, one at night, unless it's been a
are you
day.
talking about the pills or
The
the drops?
soft gel. I'm
Yeah,
talking about the soft gels. If I'm doing the oil, I'll do 2 or 3 drops.
yeah.
But that's like worst case scenario for me because I hate the taste. But if if it's a night where I've had I'm really wound up, or like I know the next day is going to be a hot mess and it's probably going to be I'm going to be ruminating thinking about it, I'll take 2 or 3 before bed just to really help my body to relax.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, so I use it for some of the same reasons, but primarily just because I am wound tight by nature. It's funny, my husband sent me this article this today or this reel today about signs that you have high functioning anxiety. I'm like, you ain't got to tell me, sir. I know what I got.
I self-identify.
I know what I got. And so it's
That's
taken
funny.
me it's taken me a while to figure out. I think that like that's why I'm so passionate about doTERRA and helping people because I think it's gotten my anxiousness has gotten increasingly worse as I have gotten older.
Mhm.
So I can't imagine where I would be without doTERRA. I would be on I'm sure I would be on a pill of some sort because
A couple, honey.
a
Let's just
couple
be
of
honest.
like a synthetic pill. And I didn't want to do that. You know, I remember like I'd gotten prescribed Valium
Mhm.
for my dental experiences, which was another one's coming up, whole thing. I had a traumatic incident, and so I needed to. Anytime I go to the dentist, I would need to have a Valium, or when I fly, I needed a Valium at that time. And I remember when my doctor gave me the prescription, she was like, an African American, young. She wasn't even. She's probably like 40 doctor, and she was like, look, don't get addicted to this. And it scared me. I'm like,
Mhm.
I don't want to even be taking something periodically that I could potentially get addicted to. So I took it when I needed. I was like experiencing panic attacks at that season in life. I was just, it was just intense. And I was working this really stressful full-time job, and it was manifesting itself by way of like my blood pressure was so high. They put me on blood pressure pills at like, I don't know, I was 33 when I was on blood pressure medication. And I just was like, something has to give. I need to figure this thing out. And it had gotten to the point, literally, literally the week I was introduced to doTERRA, I had a big wedding. I was a wedding planner at the time, so I was no longer, you know, working. So I was doing weddings, and I had this big wedding. She was a tough bride, and she was very particular, and it was making me nervous, which I don't usually get nervous. But I got so nervous and so anxious that I started to see stars, and I was like, "Yo, I cannot pass out. I cannot." And it happened twice that week, and that was the first time that I'm like, I'm getting so anxious, I'm about to pass out. Like, this is ridiculous. And I'm like, something has to give. And that was the same week that I was introduced to doTERRA. And I'm
Wow.
so grateful. I'm so grateful. So I was rocking with Balance and Serenity for a year before Copaiba came out. Copaiba came out and
Mhm.
changed the game for me completely. So I see Miss Shawn in the comments says her anxiety is through the roof. She tried it once with not very good results. So, what I will tell you is that you got to figure out what works for your body, and you have to figure out the concoction, if you will, that works. So, what I have found to help with sleep and also anxiousness, for me, I take a trifecta at night. I take one Copaiba soft gel, I take one Serenity capsule, and I take one adaptive at night. If I am feeling particularly wound up, right? Something is happening. I know sleep is gonna be difficult. I will listen. I know my body. I have taken up to 5 Copaiba at night, or at any point throughout the day, because I know my body needs it. It needs more support to just get me like, I mean, I'll be like way up here. So it just kind of gets me to a place where like, I'm like, all right, we can do this. It also helps with cramps. If I
Mhm.
take 5, I'm usually
Yeah,
good.
I was gonna say the whole ditch and switch idea. Like this is my switch
Yeah,
from any like ibuprofen, Tylenol,
yeah,
any of that. So,
yeah. Yeah, it's super powerful, and it just works so well, and you're not going to have those side effects that you could have otherwise. So I would say,
what's
Sean,
your daytime for anxiety? I know you said that one you do for night.
I don't do anything in the daytime. I just, because it works. Like I feel
Mm-hmm.
like I sleep well, and I wake up and I'm just calm. It's like still in my system. Now sometimes like with the other well, you also like, so let it be known, guys. Let it be known. I have designed my life to accommodate all that I am, all of this anxiousness. So I do not have any children. I do not have any pets. It's just me and my husband. I work for myself. All of that was designed because of how I react to stress. Like, it's bad. So
Write a book, honey.
I, I tip
Design
my
Your Life for You by
I
Janet Flynn.
I mean, I just, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I just knew. I tip my hat to you parents. I can barely keep myself alive. And I've gotten like um, at this phase in my life, I have figured out like, oh, okay, like how to manage my schedule and certain, this is why we're doing this, right? And we're
Hmm.
really taking this to the next level here soon, you guys, because we do realize that, we need help. We need help and support, especially in this crazy world we're living in.
As a people, yeah.
Yeah.
So Miss Shawn, my morning routine is one Copaiba, one Serenity soft gel, one adaptive capsule, and 2 drops of frankincense under my tongue.
Which would knock me out. I'd be asleep. You
Mm-mm.
gotta know your
That's
body.
just like to me to
Yeah. Now I will say
those
I do
people
I
that
do
we talked about.
oils in the morning. So I do balance in the morning and I do balance on my big toes. Balance really does help. But I have my stuff with me at all times. So if
Mhm.
I start to feel like I'm getting worked up, adaptive oil for me is really, really good. I'll just adaptive my heart all over my heart and I always have my Copaiba and adaptive pills. So I have what I need if I need to, but typically I have created a life that I'm able to manage my stress. Now, let me tell you something. When I travel or if things are particularly, like, something happens, there's a death in the family, something happens, um, my nighttime routine I do in the daytime and I'll double it. So if I'm flying, if I don't care if I'm going from here to New York City, which is a 2 hour flight, I will have two Copaiba, two adaptive, two Serenity. That's how I fly. And I'm like peace and vetiver and balance and serenity over the heart all the time.
Mhm.
That's just what I've learned to do. So I think, Miss Shawn, you have to figure out what works for you. You do have to be patient with this process and just be patient, do some research,
Mhm.
and really document what's happening to your body. I have a new girl that I've been working with, and she takes really, really good notes. So she's been able to see some even very subtle changes that if you're not paying attention, you might overlook, right?
Mhm.
So I think it's important to kind of track it and see what happens with your body.
Yeah.
The other piece is how many Copaiba were you taking? If you were taking the pill, if
Mhm.
you were taking the oil, like how many drops were you taking? How were you taking it? I don't, for me, under the tongue is not enough. It has to
Mhm.
go through like my whole system. So if I'm taking the oil, I'm taking it like a shot. Take a little
Mhm.
bit of water, put it in my mouth, swish it around, and drink it like a shot. Um, or the pills. The pills work really well for me.
Mhm. I was just gonna say to that end, some bodies respond better to different families of oils
Mm,
in terms of needing to calm. So, and my sons are a great example of that. Like Atlas, if you put lavender on him or near him, he's gonna be asleep in T-minus 5 minutes.
okay.
Ace, you can like douse him with it, put it in his mouth, and he's just like, "Choo-choo, let's play." But if I put Copaiba on him or frankincense on him, you can forget it. Like, so he's more responsive to the tree resin oils, I've learned.
Hmm.
Atlas is responsive to tree resin oils as well, but he's most responsive to florals. So like lavenders and such. So I think you just kind of have to play around with it and see um, how your body responds.
Yeah. And I think you just have to really be committed to
Mhm.
doing it naturally, to have the patience
And
to.
consistently, because I would say don't do it for a day or two and chalk it up. You know, I would give it a solid week or two and
Mhm.
then say, okay, this regimen needs some work or needs some help. But and again, like I wouldn't just take one and be done. Like if I had nothing else and I only had Copaiba, I would probably take two of them 2 or 3 times a day just to like function normally.
Yeah. And I will tell you, I was doing a live once on Copaiba and somebody said you should, because I drink it in my coffee or my tea.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I
Mm-hmm.
used to start every day.
Mm.
But this,
What?
uh-huh,
That just hit me.
uh-huh.
Okay.
Coffee or tea. I would just put a couple of drops in coffee or tea. And it's like well, back when I was doing this every day, I would do it with coffee. And I feel like it somehow counteracted the effect of the caffeine. I don't know. I was just like
Hmm.
so chill. I had to stop doing it recently because I do like a tea, a fake coffee that's actually quite yummy. And I put it in there, but I don't know, it just relaxes me a little too much. And when I need to get stuff done, I can't do it because I'm like, oh, hello world. Let me go for a walk and talk to the birds. I'm not as productive. So I need some of that anxious energy running through my, blood to get things done. Um, but anyway, this woman told me, she messaged me and she's like, have you ever tried Copaiba in your water? And I was like, no, that sounds disgusting. She's like, try it. And by golly, I like it. Now, I only do it if I am on my cycle and I need like
Mhm.
a constant hit, or if I am traveling and I'm an anxious traveler if I'm flying. So I'll do it in my water. Like I'll do copaiba or lavender in my water just as I'm
Hmm.
traveling, just to keep my little anxious soul just a constant stream.
Constant. Mhm.
It's
I
just,
like it.
I told somebody yesterday, I was like, copaiba is just like flowing through my bloodstream right now.
At all times.
At all times. It works so, so, so well for me. So yeah, so top uses: pain, inflammation, arthritis, gout, muscle cramps. We can go on and on because there are a lot of things that it's good for. And people call this the oil for everything because it just checks so many boxes. It's good for the skin.
Mm.
It's really good if you mix it. Have you ever tried that? You tried it in your
No.
skincare? Uh-huh. Try it.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, if you try it, it does a little something different to the skin.
Okay.
Um, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, I like it for headaches, like
Hmm.
headaches. I like to mix
Yep.
it. And we talked about this with you told me the scientific term, and I cannot remember already, but we talked about this with frankincense last week. When you pair frankincense with other oils, the other oils work better. And
Hmm.
it's the same thing
It's
with
like an
coconut.
intensifier. I forgot
Yeah.
what the exact word is.
Yeah. So that's how Copaiba is as well, which is why I like for people who are in a lot of who deal with a lot of like physical pain, even neurological pain, to pair copaiba with frankincense because that is a dynamic duo.
Hmm.
Mhm. Can I share a quick story?
Please.
Okay. This is the story of my aunt, and she's given me permission. I believe she gave me permission to share the story because
I
so
hope she ain't watching.
when I first started with essential oil, um, I was talking to I have this one aunt that's like always been into natural health, and so I knew she would be interested. So she said to me, "Go talk to the other aunt because she has been dealing with some severe pain, and I had no clue that my aunt was in such pain." So I went and talked to her, and my aunt had had a stroke. I think at that point it had been about 8 years earlier. She had a stroke.
Hmm.
And one of the side effects from the stroke was she was in severe pain. Oh, it makes me emotional. I'm having a little bit of emotional
Hmm.
reaction right now inside my body. But I had no idea she was in that kind of pain. She
Hmm.
said that it was worse than childbirth. She said it was,
Yikes.
and it was constant. And so she was on really, really heavy medication to help, but she said it didn't even like it made it like, took the edge off, but she was in
Hmm.
for 8 years. For 8 years, she was in constant pain. Makes me so sad. And but no one, I didn't know. I didn't know it. I don't know. I'm
But
thinking
she is
that
just living with it.
she was living with it. I think her sisters knew, but like her children didn't know. Like we just didn't know that that's what she was dealing with. And so I said, I don't know. I had just started with oils. I was like, I don't know if this can help. I don't know. They're telling me that it can. From what I read, I think it can, but I don't know. And so my upline said, give her frankincense and copaiba. So I gave her a big old vial of like frankincense because I was like, try all the things, and then copaiba. And so I gave it to her, and I just said, we'll just wait and see what happens. I told her just put a couple drops under her tongue morning and night, and we'll just see what happens. And it was 3 months went by. She never said anything. So I was like, it must not have worked. Not, I wasn't following up because I was still new at this and I wasn't really sure. And so one day she called me and she says, hey, I need my medicine. And I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, I need the oils that you gave me. So she did order. So she ordered two. I need those oils that you gave me. And I was like, they worked? And she was like, I she says it worked immediately. And she said in 8 years, I have been suffering, and who knew a drop of an essential oil could make such a huge difference? So she goes to the doctor, and the doctor is like, hey, it's time for us to increase your dosage. And she's like, I'm good. In fact, I'm decreasing my dosage. Now, I don't know where she is now with her dosage, but she got so much relief from frankincense in Copaiba. And I was like, oh, the world must know about these
Hmm.
oils.
So how was she taking it again?
Just under the tongue.
Just what, two
Eventually,
drops or what?
yeah, just like 2 drops under the tongue. Eventually, she transitioned over to the pills because the pills were
Hmm.
easier for her to just remember to take. Um, and, she's had some other health situations come up recently. And this was maybe a couple of years ago. And she started to take, added to that mix, the adaptive capsules. And the thing about it was they were giving her, prescribing something um, for anxiety. And they
Hmm.
told her it needs to be in your system for like a few weeks before you're going to see any results. But so she was just taking the adaptive pills, just like, give me something to take in the meantime. And her daughter was like, take the adaptive pills. And day one, it worked. So she was like, I don't even need this other medication because she sees the effects. And so, I
That's
think
so
it's
amazing.
amazing. And I think she and I are like our bodies, our sensitivities are similar. Um,
Hmm.
like our nervous state, I feel like is similar. And I respond very, very well and very, very quickly to those same products. It's the Copaiba just responds so well. So I don't know. I just want to share it. She was having her pain was neurological. It was
Mm.
nerve pain. And this was the only relief that she'd gotten in 8 years. It's amazing. Copaiba for the win.
I mean, and done.
And so if you haven't tried it, I mean, give it a try. You might like it. You might love it. I believe your body will.
And you want some more of it.
Yes. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap. I think, I think we've done Copaiba justice here today. You can tell it's my fave.
I believe so.
Yes. So join us next week. I don't know. I think we're talking about lavender next week. Why are you looking like that?
I think so. I was trying to think of what we were talking about next week.
Yes. So yeah, for the month of August, we're changing it up. So we'll talk about one product. We'll talk about one lifestyle hack, I think, one business hack, and
Mhm.
just one general health and wellness topic. So be on the lookout for our August schedule coming out soon, and for some other special announcements coming out later in August. It's gonna be fun, exciting. We love y'all. Thanks for joining us. Bye, Insta.
See y'all.
Boo, boo. Okay. Let me stop the recording. Thanks for watching the recording. We love ya.